Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and as you guys know, the part 1 for Nile Wilson interview, this is now part 2 of the interview, where my brother asks questions and Nile Wilson answers the questions, and hope you guys like it.
Hey Nile, my name is Kaden. I'm 8 years old. I've been doing gymnastics for 3 years. And what's your least favorite competition and your favorite competition and why?
Oh well, we talked about the Olympics. That was definitely my favourite by a long way. Least favourite. It's so hard because I've done so many, and what I will say with this question is I failed so many times. I've made so many mistakes, but I never have a negative relationship to those failures, because I talk about this in my videos. When I make a mistake or when I fall off an apparatus, I'm just learning. So I use it as a positive to go into the next competition and change what I did wrong, and grow. If I'd have made those mistakes back in those the hundreds of competitions where I fell off high bar, I fell on P bars, I put my hands down on the dismount, etc., etc. If I'd have quit, then I'd have never reached where I am today. So I can't highlight a least favourite, but just to know that I've fallen hundreds of times in competitions, but I've always got back up and used it as a learning experience for the next one, and developed and grown and got a lot of experience under pressure. And those mistakes that I've made, like I say, it's a learning point. So then now I'm very consistent in competitions. I've made all my mistakes, and I know how to approach it, and I will continue to make mistakes. And I just think my advice to the young kids is, when you fall, because you will, the failure is inevitable, please just use it as a positive and think about the next time how you're not going to make that mistake again. And if you can consistently do that, you will always improve, definitely. Don't quit, don't give up.
Is there a gymnast that you would like to look up to or be like?
Spoke about this in one of my recent vlogs. We did the greatest of all time. I mean, this now, it's crazy for me because I used to sit at home like you guys watching the World Championships and the Olympic Games and thinking, oh my god, and now it's very strange because I'm there and I do it. So I always look around and I'm wowed by the amazing gymnastics that's going on. Obviously the strongest countries, Japan, China, Russia, America, even Canada. We did the Commonwealth Games. I'm sure you all watched that and enjoyed that. It's amazing to see. I said in my vlog the greatest of all time was Li Xiaopeng. That was, if you guys go back on YouTube and search his P bars and his vault, and he was one of the greatest all-rounders. I think he could have challenged Uchi in his prime, if we put them all together. But there's been so many amazing gymnasts that you guys should follow. Like Nemov, the Russian, was incredible. Ivankov, this is going years back, and then obviously Tomita, Japanese guy. He was the Uchimura before the Uchimura. I'm reeling off a few of the names, but if you dig down, go back to the Sydney Olympics, the Athens Olympics, all the videos are on YouTube, and just watch the team final, the all-round final. There's some incredible gymnastics, and that's all I did when I was probably the age of these kids watching. Just was obsessed with YouTube, watched video after video, competition after competition, and try to visualise and feel myself doing those skills. And that's how I think I learned so quickly, just by watching, thinking how they're doing that. I've forgotten the question now, but hopefully that kind of touched upon the answer.
How did you come up with the Body Bible, and what's your inspiration behind it?
So the Body Bible, I think there's two parts to this, obviously. I believe, I'm sure you guys believe, you certainly believe, gymnastics is very, very fun and is probably one of the best things for your body, physically. So my idea was to then, how can I get as many people that aren't gymnasts involved and transforming their body, everything, the last sort of 5 years, health and fitness has boomed, and everyone wants to be healthy, everyone wants to be fit, and I just from that point and realising that, I knew that gymnastics is the best thing, or one of the best things. You know, people may disagree, but look at every gymnast around the world, look at how their physique is, male and female, what we can do with our body, the functional strength. Because I think sometimes there's a misconception, you know, a lot, particularly when we talk about bodybuilding, they can lift big weights and they sculpture their body to look a certain way, but they can't move, they can't run, they can't forward roll, they can't, you know, and I just think that functional movement is the best. So that was the main thing, just getting as many people involved. And then part two, I'm a young, entrepreneurial, kind of business-inspired kind of person, so I wanted to create a business. I'll be honest in saying, I want to be rich. I want to create a lifestyle, a freedom lifestyle for myself. So it was a chance for me to help as many people as I possibly can, and then try and grow a business and build a lifestyle for myself. So, you know, they both go hand in hand, and it's going very, very well. And then we have got thousands and thousands of people joining the programs, you know, learning handstands, learning muscle ups, you know, and transforming their body. So it's been an incredible journey, and hopefully it continues to grow.
That's awesome.
Oh man, it's good.
How is your neck and wrist injuries, and how are you going to heal them?
So, wrist is getting there. They both are getting there, unfortunately. I don't know whether you're going to put this on YouTube. Eventually.
Maybe.
Just, it's fine. I'm going to talk about my neck. I've actually pulled out of the Europeans, but the team's not announced till Friday, so just make sure that you...
We're not back in Canada.
Yeah, sound. So my neck is, unfortunately, I've got a bulging disc, which is causing me a lot of pain. And unfortunately, I've had to pull out of the recent major competition, the European Championships, which is unfortunate. But it's the right decision, and I've got to focus on the World Championships, which is, in the grand scheme of things, a lot more important. So I am struggling with my neck and my wrist, and I'm going through rehab programs to try and make them the best they can be, you know, for the future and future competitions and next year. So it is a tough time, but what I would say with that is, you know, and I've talked a lot about it on the channel, is the setbacks, the failures are really important, and this is the same with injuries. You know, there's been a lot of times where I've been going from the best, most exciting place in my gymnastics all the way back to square one with an operation, with the injuries, with my ankle, and it is part of the journey. And I think, again, it's your attitude towards it. So still, it is tough, and I have had some rubbish weeks, some hard days, but you know, my overall attitude is positive. I'm going to get through this. You know, the end goal, what I want to achieve in gymnastics, is much more important than this neck pain. So just doing everything I can to make it right as quick as possible. And yeah, it's a great question, and hopefully I can inspire you guys with the journey that I talk about through my struggles, not just the best moments. I do want to talk about the hard times, because that's the reality and that's life for everyone. So yeah, I'm struggling at the moment, but I'll get through it.
What do you eat before training, during training, and after training?
So I started to take nutrition very seriously at the ages around like 14, 15, and when I did, you know, we'll talk about the foods and stuff like that, it made an incredible sort of progression in my training and my competition. You know, I think that year was the first time I really stepped up and became English champion, British champion, and I do put down that a lot of it to taking my nutrition seriously, and it is so important in fueling your body and the way you feel, because essentially we've got to fuel ourselves to do the best gymnastics we can. So before, during and after, I think I generally try and have a balance, and I think it is important, consistency in gymnastics. In terms of weight, like weight is important. You know, if you're going up and down like this, your training will be inconsistent. So I try and, you know, you learn your body over the years, but I'm roughly around 65 kilograms, and I stick at it as consistently as I can, year in, year out. And obviously it's challenging from young, because you will grow and the weight will change, so I wouldn't worry at all about weight till you be 17, 18 years old. However, the consistency is important, and you know, a balance of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and the kind of antioxidant, vitamin, minerals, so your veg, your fruit, your superfoods, they're very important to just include. The protein is really for muscle recovery and muscle development. So if you're wanting to get strong on rings, if you're wanting to get strong in your planche, if you're wanting to really increase strength, protein is the key. So I would try not just have it after training, which is very important, but every single meal having a little bit. So for breakfast you want your eggs, you know, beans, obviously you got your lean meats, your milk, you know, I used to drink pints and pints of milk to try and develop, and it is really important. And then the fuel from the carbohydrates, and I'd really try and stay away from the sugar. You know, I used to eat bowls of chocolate cereal. It's not great. You know, I did Cocoa Pops, Cocoa Shreddies, they're so nice. But you want to switch that to kind of oats, you know, porridge, you know, brown toast, wholemeal toast, pasta, potatoes, rice, brown rice. But at the same time as saying that, you guys could Google as much about nutrition and learn about it. That's definitely what I did, and I don't want you to be lazy. I think you should read about nutrition for hours. I used to do that myself, but at the same time, be happy and healthy in yourself, and that balance is really important for me. If you do want to go out and have a McDonald's from time to time, you know, I'm not condoning it, but what I'm saying is consistency and balance is really, really important for me, because I've had challenges, and you know, the kids may not, you know, I say that obsessiveness, I almost became too obsessed and I lost way too much weight and didn't have the energy. So I would say definitely looking at nutrition is so important, but just stay balanced and happy and healthy in your mind as well, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Maybe it's a story for one of my vlogs one day, definitely.
Alright guys, thank you for watching. We're thanking Nile Wilson for signing our Wilsonator merch. We are Wilsonators, and thank you, Nile. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to
Smash that like button and back over that subscribe button like Nile does.
and don't forget, work hard, be brave, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.